is volatility? Volatility is the ability of a substance to vaporize. So the volatility of a substance is proportional to its vapor pressure. The higher the vapor pressure, the more volatile the liquid. So meaning, okay, if that particular liquid has the ability to vaporize, or has a higher ability to vaporize, then it is also have higher or higher ang iyang vapor pressure. So liquids like acetone and alcohol have high vapor pressure and are considered volatile because their intermolecular forces are weak. So which means that if there is a weak intermolecular forces of attraction within the liquid, then it's considered volatile. So, mas higher ang iyang vapor pressure. So, that is directly proportional to intermolecular forces and higher volatility and higher vapor pressure. So, what's the difference between evaporation and volatility? So, as what I have said, volatility is different from evaporation. So, when you say evaporate, it is a phase change from liquid to gas. So, meaning it's the state wherein there is a change from liquid to gas, while volatility is essentially the tendency of a liquid to evaporate. So a highly volatile liquid would show a great tendency to evaporate. So meaning it's the tendency of a particular sample or a liquid sample to evaporate. So if that goes with higher volatility, then iya pong tendency is higher po ang ilang evaporation. So do not misunderstood volatility with evaporation. So some properties of water. So water has a high surface tension. So regarding this one, because we always, di ba, we're talking about liquid, and then particularly what's the most important liquid in us? It's actually water. So what's with water? So water has a high surface tension. Yeah, this property enables water to move from the roots to the other parts and trees by capillary action. Yes. And so water is significant in our lives as it's the first, it's it's the primary source of living for the plants. Plants need water for survival, for growth. Okay, so water has a high boiling point, so which is why rather it is liquid at room temperature. So even if water is existing in a place, so it can still because it has a high boiling point, so it cannot boil at room temperature. So the density of solid water or ice is less than the density of liquid water. So what does it mean to have this one? This is due to stronger hydrogen bonding in ice than in liquid water. So mo na ning giingon na kinetic molecular theory. So there is a stronger hydrogen bonding in ice than in liquid water. So weak ang intermolecular forces of attraction between liquid than the solid one. So water has a high heat of vaporization. So vaporization, the heat of vaporization is the amount of heat required to change a given amount of liquid into gas. Again, the high heat of vaporization of water is due to stronger intermolecular forces of hydrogen bonding. So, shall I say, is the amount of heat required to change a given amount of liquid into gas. So, when liquid, we're talking about water. So, when water is being heated, so it can vaporize, so it can change into gas state. So again, high ang heat of vaporization of water, so, such that mo to ganina di din siya dali mag at room temperature, dili din siya dali mag boil pod, and also it has a stronger intermolecular forces or hydrogen bonding. So it is also water is a gold solvent. So what that is why it was referred to as the universal solvent. So whether what particular products you have it, or you submerge water with, so it can actually go with it, okay, because of its is the universal solvent. So ayos iyang hydrogen but bonding. So we're done with with the liquid. So we now move on with solid. So what are the different properties of solids? So for solids, have to we have to call this one as crystalline solids and amorphous solids. So for crystalline solids, more on it can go, okay, from the word itself, it is crystalline. So we can see this solid as it crystallizes, or na siya appearance that is meron siyang crystallization process it takes the crystallization process for it to form a solid. While for amorphous solid, it doesn't have a crystal lattice, but it's still a solid. So it can actually a deformed one kung tingnan mo. So that is for amorphous solids. So crystalline solids are solids are either crystalline or amorphous or non-crystalline. But the crystalline solids are those whose atoms, ions, or molecules are ordered in well-defined arrangements. So they usually have flat surfaces or faces and sharp angles. So these solids have regular shapes, ice, sugar, salt, and gems. So particularly, or you have seen this one. So more on, okay, these are the following examples. So crystalline solids are either ionic, molecular, covalent network, and metallic. So, okay, regarding that one, okay, if you are able to know the different the intramolecular force of attraction, then these are actually referring to the attractive forces between the solid arrangement. So we have the ionic, molecular. So it can be different from each other due to the different substances that is present in, or different molecules that are present, or atoms that is present in a molecule or in a substance. So natay ionic. So when this is ionic, then you know already that it contains positive and negative ions because of, okay, these are non-metal and metal. So properties include hard, brittle, and poor electrical and thermal conduction. So example are salts. So we also have molecular. Atoms or molecules. So meaning these are from non-metals. So hydrogen bonds, it can be go with the different types of intermolecular forces. And then soft, low to moderately high melting point, and poor thermal and electrical conduction for its property. And organic compounds such as CH4 and this is glucose, a example of molecular. And also for types of crystalline solids, we have covalent network, atoms connected in a network of covalent molecules. So we have non-metal steel, but it's purely covalent bonds. So we have covalent bonds, very high melting point, and often poor thermal and electrical conduction, and very hard as for its property. And examples are diamond, silicon carbide, Si or silicon carbon, and quartz. And then we have metallic bonding, or metallic crystalline solids rather. So we have atoms of molecules, and forces between particles is metallic bonds. So these are or more on the hard portion of solids jud. Soft to hard, low to high melting point, malleable, ductile, and good thermal and electrical conduction for its property. And all metallic elements like Cu, Na, Zn, Fe, and Al. So how about the amorphous solids? So we can also say solids, diba? If you can see solids, these are not only for those crystalline structure, but also, okay, amorphous solids from the Greek word for without form are solids whose particles do not have orderly structures. Therefore, they have poorly defined shapes. So solids, okay, still They have shapes or they are organized, solid, but that not that with the not the same with the crystalline structure. So we have examples are butter, rubber, glass, and wax. So still we can say it's a solid, but it's not crystalline solid. So that is amorphous solids. So we have here, as you can see, examples from it. So, okay, let me have a short recap of that. So, first, we talked about the different properties of liquid. So, we have viscosity, capillary action, vapor pressure, boiling point, surface tension. And for solids, we have amorphous solids and crystalline solids. So, do not forget to study everything that we have from our chemistry discussion. And, syempre, you have to always look on the bright side of things because uh, even so this time still studying is important. So thank you for listening and God bless you.